welcome to a new week. A bit chilly this morning, but hence the coat. That's okay. I'd sort of rather that in a way. The warm weather's coming. I've done some boring domestic-y stuff, and today I'm hoping I can finish the mailbox. Let's have a quick look. I've struggled to find the time to crack on with this project. It's been weird, just so much else going on. But this is the stage I've got up to. I'm sorry about the light, there's not much I can do about that, it's pretty gloomy. So I've constructed the box. It's got a bottom, it's got a lid. I've put this metal on the lid to help waterproof it. Obviously it's been painted, although I will be touching up the paint once it's constructed. So there's not actually that much left to do, but what there is left to do is a little bit tricky and stuff I've never done before. Fingers crossed though, I might get this finished this morning. If I do, I will show you. But essentially what I need to do is attach the roof, attach the slot, put our nameplate on, and then touch up the paint job just to help make it nice and watertight. Wish me luck! Another successful day, and we're just ending up the evening by doing a bit of work on our trailer, trying to make it more fit for purpose. At long last, it's more or less finished. Just as I mentioned previously, just some touching up of the paintwork to do, but that'll have to wait for another day. We managed to install the letter flap. Lots of Australian, in fact most of Australian roadside mailboxes don't have those, they just have holes, but that didn't sit comfortably with me. So I bought a letter flap off of Etsy. Pleased with that. Our nameplate there, brass nameplate which we had on our first flat in Edinburgh. I've covered it up because if you know our names you know them, and if you don't need to. I managed to get the hinges on successfully, pleased with that. I was pleased with this is how we're going to close it. I just bashed these sort of staples in, and I've got an old padlock from when I was a Virgin Gym member. So the padlock sits through these and keeps the mailbox secure. Although obviously it would be quite easy to break it open. Nevertheless, it gives me some peace of mind. I'm very pleased with that. We are thinking of it as a prototype in a way. My skills are nothing compared to Will's. But if this works, then we might keep it. If it works, but there are obvious flaws that become apparent, then we'll refine it and we'll have a go at making a better one. I'm pleased with that. It's not the world's most attractive object, but a lot of Australian roadside mailboxes are pretty hideous. So regardless of its aesthetics, I'm pleased that yet again I was able to make something. I'll quickly show you the work we did on the trailer too whilst I'm at it. Forgive the wind, it's picked up a bit. Essentially, this trailer was built by someone. He was making a trip around Australia, so the frame is just a basic trailer, and then the base is a basic trailer, and then they built this wooden frame, which we'd like to replace, but for the time being this is what we've got. The way the back was connected was through little nails which slotted into the base of the trailer, but that meant that this was quite unstable, and for a while the only way we had of securing it was this strap. Even though it was tightly secured, the back to this frame, sometimes the back would come off. So Will's dad came up with this innovation which meant that even when the back jumped out and came out of the trailer base, it was at least still attached, so it would just sort of flap around. But that wasn't ideal. So Will's reinforced the wood because it's quite bowed. He put this extra piece of wood on the inside, and we've attached hinges, like so. One at the top and one at the bottom. So what that means now is that in theory the back should never be able to come off. And it's secured at the side of the hinges, and it's secured here with this, and I put this here. It doesn't really hold it shut as such, but certainly whilst it's in situ it does help to keep the door closed, although it won't really do much when the trailer's in motion. The reason this is important is because I'm about to undertake Operation Perimeter 2.0, which means that all around the property, all around the lawns of the property, you saw me clearing the undergrowth before. But what I do now, and under these trees as well, and also around the house, is I get my leaf rake and I rake up all the leaves. I'll show you why quickly. This is something I've done every year that we've lived here, and every year it has got better and better. The first year there was just tons and tons of leaves that had been allowed to accumulate. So basically I start here and I work my way around. This is based on research I did when we first moved here about the best way to protect the property against bushfire. My focus is the area right around the house, because obviously I'm trying to protect the house, perhaps more so than the garden behind it. So this is one area that I'm very meticulous about, and you'll notice, I think, this is the one stand of trees on the whole property which didn't burn at all. You'll see these trees, they all burnt. Behind them you can see blackened trees, but these trees absolutely untouched by the fire, and that's because I went to the trouble of raking up the fine fuel. So there was nothing underneath the trees to burn. So because this is a fire that went along the ground rather than up in the canopy, these trees were fine. And this is demonstrable evidence as to the benefit of doing this sort of work. Not only did this help to protect the house, but it helped to protect important infrastructure nearby, like this water tank, our solar panel shed, Will's workshop, and then the house. You can see the proximity. Because of the importance of this work and the demonstrable benefits it has for protecting the house against fire, I leave it to as late as I can. So mid-October, November is about the ideal time. And the reason I take the leaves to the tip rather than putting them on the bonfire is because there's just so much stone. And I like to just deposit the ash from the bonfire onto the lawns. I discovered in previous years that the stones just make that horrific. So rather than burning the leaves and ending up with a load of stones on the bonfire, which then end up on the lawn, which then chew the blades of my mowers and create sparks, and it's all horrific, I just send this stuff to the tip. But in order to be able to do that, I need a functioning trailer. So this is like another one of those examples of do this before you can do this, but we're there now. So I'm ready to undertake Operation Perimeter 2.0. Well, we've had a really good day, and I'll see you tomorrow. I don't think I'll capture this so well. There's a family of plovers here, and I just noticed their chicks running around. That noise, I think the birds don't like me. I'll zoom in. So those are the adults, One of the chicks went this way. The other one's hidden behind this dip, I think. Well, it was always a long shot. Maybe the chicks have gone to ground. And the plovers have come this way because they're trying to distract me. Well, you'll just have to trust me. They were very cute. Whilst I'm out and about, I thought I'd quickly show you this. This is the creek walk, so if I spin round, excuse the car, that's the Mr. Darcy walk. What I'm pleased about here is that I finally, like for the first time ever, was able to get my ride-on down. I had been prevented in the past because I had cleared this. This had previously been overgrown, but I cleared this because this is our firebreak, so I'm entitled to do that, but also obviously it creates a nice footpath. In clearing there was quite a few stumps sticking above the ground, which was difficult for me to deal with my reciprocating saw. But I discovered that if I don't mind abusing it a little, I was able to get this right down to the ground with my chainsaw. There were also lots of stones like these two sticking out above ground, so I crowbarred them up and then infilled the hole with topsoil. Just cheap soil from Bunnings. Down here there was a bit of a crater, so again I filled this with soil like you saw me doing up near the snake shed to make my path clear. I've got one more little crater there to do, I think, and then this will be absolutely feasibly mowable on the ride-on, enabling me to keep this grass relatively low. I can't go right down as low as I might like because some of these stumps are still a bit above ground for the ride-on, but I can at least mow it. It means I don't have to come down and strim it, which is time consuming, and also never leaves quite the finish I would like. It's looking much better. I'm very pleased with that. I'm going to put this way of working into practice on other parts of the property where it has up till now not been possible for me to mow on my ride-on, mostly the other fire breaks. And then hopefully this summer it'll all look as neat and tidy as I would like it to, but more importantly be fire safe. Obviously the longer the grass is, the more chance it is of burning, and grass fires are notoriously fast and hot. So don't assume I only am obsessed about the lawns from an aesthetic point of view, it's also a safety point of view. So I'm very pleased with that. Time to have some lunch. We were up bright and early this morning, as you would have seen, because we decided to head into Melbourne for the day.
Attention, customers, this service will shortly arrive into Richmond. Richmond Station will be our next stop.